Hello, everybody. Bamland, Helm Machine, Nationals track, Supercross track, Arena Cross track. Let's ride.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
I didn't want to do like a major long spiel and intro for this one because I was just really excited to get into it and actually play the game. So, as I said, this is a recreation of Justin Barsh's Bamland, created by Helm Machine. And one thing that I really enjoy from Helm Machine these days is you don't really get any like sneak peeks or previews of what he's working on anymore. It's just one day you'll suddenly load up shop and there'll be a new track release, and he always comes through with his designs. I think obviously tracks always look very, very beautiful from him. And one thing that I've wanted in a game for a long time is this compound, because it has been made in the past. I swear that I've played in bikes at some point, but I believe it might have been a one-to-one copy and paste from the version that is in MX Simulator, and it just doesn't ride very well. The sim version was okay from him playing that back in the day, but on bikes it's very, very tight, very narrow, and there's just the jump faces and corners. They don't really work too well for the game. So, very, very happy that we've got a brand new version to be playing on today, and we're going to run some laps on each and every track. So we're going to do the main, we'll call it Nationals track. We are going to do some laps around the Supercross track, and I also had no idea that there was an Arena Cross track at Barsh's, I guess you'll call it compound, but the more you know, the more you learn. So I have a rough idea of how the track goes layout-wise, if I cast my memory back to those MX Simulator days. But it's always nice just trying to learn things again, and it looks very, very pretty. I do have reshade on right now, to be fair, so things are a little bit brighter and slightly more saturated than they might appear for you if you download the track on a standard game. But Helm Machine always makes nice stuff. What's this all about here? A little extra bit, little extra corner in case maybe you overshoot the jump. Love to see that. And you'll notice also my gear today. This is my very first attempt at just... Obviously, I didn't make gear. I've just slapped an FXR logo on something. And I think I can probably get in trouble for this, by the way, because I think FXR aren't big fans of people making gear that doesn't exist, so I do apologise. I just wanted something that was very, very basic. I wanted more, you know, like Thomas Sunis vibes, where he's just completely whited out. I haven't got around to make anything bike-wise yet, but I plan on just making like fully whited out bike with maybe just some numbers on there. You know, it's on my back. There's like 3 dots and then 5 dots. It's meant to be like a clever way of doing 35, but I might change that. Not the biggest fan of that at all. Let's see, very, very basic. Just got the stock rider template. Please don't crash. Stock rider template. Like, made it completely white. Slapped the logo on. Name on the back. Bosh, job is done. And I was going to go for like fully whited out gloves and boots to kind of complete the whole look, but I'm quite liking the contrast between the white and the red. I'm not sure whether I should keep helmet white or change helmet to red as well, but I'm kind of digging it right now, kind of vibing with it. I cannot lie to you boys. No idea why I've been third person this whole time, but I guess it is to mainly show off the new gear. So let's switch it back. Let's go into first, and then so my plan really was to go through each and every bike that I could ride, whether it's Yami, Husky, KTM, Suzuki, and just make a whited out version of each and every one. So that will be a process pending. Maybe I'll get it done by the time the next Supercross round rolls around. So you'll also notice, I mean, if you watch the last few videos, then this might be a slight difference. I have the headset on today. We can wear it without causing too much pain, just a very, very mild ache. So we are finally going in almost completely the right direction. Haven't had to take any painkillers today either, which is very, very lovely. And if we're getting on a little bit more of a personal level, if you care much about what goes on in the Lynn's bathroom, I mean, feel free to mute for the next 10 seconds if not. But I dropped one of the biggest deuces of my entire life earlier, because apparently the painkillers that I was on stop you from doing that. So now I've stopped taking them, and there you go. I feel like a whole new man today. You didn't just know that? It's fine. We're all friends here. We're all family at this point. So, so far, so good. And I didn't get any early access or anything like this for this track. I've just played it as it's released on the shop. But I'm kind of flowing pretty damn nicely around it. I'm sure usually when I compliment my own riding, I usually crash straight after. I'm not sure if it just feels quite intuitive, but the bumps look quite scary and threatening when you come up to them. But when you hit them, they're actually fairly straightforward. So, oh, there you go. As I say that, I do myself a little bit dirty. There's a little bit of off-track rough as well. which whether it's intentional or not, I don't know. But it does hinder people from trying to cheat, trying to scumbag, taking low lines. So I don't mind it being there. Some nice little rough spots off to the side. He's gone for some nice little details here and there. I'm not sure if you can see it too well when you're riding, but I'll try and point it out next time. I'll need to send that a bit further next time. But the I guess you'd call it the lake, the body of water in the middle of the track where they get water to water the track from, as like a tipped over golf cart in there that's like half submerged. I thought that was just a nice, cool little touch. I like to see when people. I consider track builders at this point now just to be artists, and it's nice seeing artists having their own little touch and putting these little fun things in tracks for us to play with. And so far, I actually expected, just from the flyover, I thought the track would be like super fast paced, but it's actually a bit more technical than I first expected, just with the way the rough is and how the ruts are. A lot of Helm Machine's tracks I played in the past are very hold it wide open as much as you can, and with his last one, I can't remember the name of it. I want to say it's like, is it Stecklenburg? Whichever one, it's like the whitish greyish sort of sand track that he released last. Even though that is quite a whooped out rough sand track, as soon as you get a flow going, you can just kind of skim your way through all the bumps and hit things really quickly. So this is like one of his slower tracks, I would say, and it still does a pretty damn good job, at least holding me wise. I've slapped on my like GP suspension for the Husky here, and it's just munching. It's working its way around. I've got the 110 rear tyre on it, and I'm having no issues for grip at all. I believe it is soft soil, just based on the feel. And bikes feels very strange to me at the moment. I'm now 15. No, actually, I think about 17-ish hours deep on GP bikes at this point, and yeah, just learning every single day, trying to get a little bit better each time as well. And I am thoroughly enjoying it. It's very it's a very satisfying feeling seeing literal seconds coming off your lap times just by learning different tricks, and it's nice experimenting with all different types of bikes there are in that game. So yeah, I've not been playing MX bikes too much at all. I think I've got like 22 hours in the last 2 weeks, which for some people would still consider that quite a lot, but I think for the majority of the, let's say, pro scene, it's probably on the lower side. There's one or two of the pro boys, like, let's take Dylan, for example, who he has like 7 hours in 2 weeks. He rocks up on, well, used to rock up on Friday. I don't know if he really does Supercross anymore. Rocks up on a Monday for GPs, and then that's it. He will sit playing like Siege and things like that the rest of the time, which I wish I could rock up and be that good, but I do need a little bit more practice than some of the other people. We'll blame it on old age. You know, big old ripe age of 28 now. We're getting on a little bit. And to give you a little bit of a house update as well, me and my girlfriend both got sent an additional form that we had to submit and fill out and pass over them today. Apparently it will take up to 4 days now to go do a bunch of different like background checks for us to make sure that we are worthy of being able to move in. And we requested, so on the form we can choose ideally like what our ideal move-in date would be. And we selected the 1st of next month just to give us a little bit of time to pack things up and get it all sorted. So hopefully my fingers and my toes are crossed, because it has been a struggle finding places that we both like and is also within good driving distance to her work and has good internet for me to be able to like do videos and streaming, and is closest to shops and isn't too close to a school and this, that and the other. And yes, it's been a little stressful at times, but I'm praying that it all goes through and it works nicely, because it would be nice to, obviously, like my bedroom at the moment is my own space. I'm sure a lot of you can agree your bedroom is your own space, but there's times where, you know, you just want to be alone, if that makes sense, and not be surrounded by the family all the time, and be able to stay up to whatever time you want, or not get told to do this or told to do that. So it'll be very nice just to have a little bit more freedom. And I get along with my family very well. Like parents and brother, we all get along absolutely fine. There's no hostility at all. It's not like poor living conditions makes it sound like third world country vibes and living in poverty, but that's not what I mean. You know, there's no hostile living conditions at all. So I will be sad to go, but at the same time, I am also excited for the future. I think it's one of them big parts of life. And I said, obviously, parents don't want me to go because we get along well too. But I was like, I'm a little bit sad as well, you know. Now it means I actually have to start doing things for myself. Like, I can't just be like, oh, can you chuck the washing on for me? Or I don't get to come downstairs to like a cooked meal every single night. I actually have to do stuff myself now. So it does suck. But again, it's also very exciting. It should open up the door for a lot more opportunities when it comes to streaming and stuff and just staying up later. I'm well aware the majority of you guys are from like the US, for example. I think the US guys make up something like 46-ish% of my audience, And I'm also well aware that my video upload times or streaming times don't suit majority of you, because you're either just getting home from work or just getting home from school, whatever it might be, or but I don't know. A lot of time it just doesn't marry up too well. And when I do the donator-thons, it's nice seeing all of them new faces of people that I don't usually get to talk to on the streams, whether they are people from, let's say, like the Oceanic region or people from the US. I really do enjoy it, so it'd be nice to be able to stream for longer and more regularly. So I'm very, very excited for that, and I hope you guys are as well. So this track has so far, have I actually crashed yet? I know, oh no, I crashed once. Went over the bars, over the big triple near the finish line. Other than that, I think I've made a couple of mistakes and gone off track once or twice, but I haven't really fallen off the bike, and usually that is quite a good testament to the track itself. It's not difficult by any means. It looks quite scary on the surface. I think he's done a good job of really highlighting where the bumps and the ruts are shading-wise. So it looks like there's a big contrast, and I think it makes them look a little bit deeper than they are. Like jump faces like that, for example, if there is any ruts on that face and it's not just visual, they are minute. They look like they'll affect you much more than they do. So don't be scared of it. Just hit things as hard as you can and you should be a-okay. I mean, I've not got any like horrible kicks in the corners or out of the jumps at all so far. It's been really nice. One thing that I want to see, probably going to crash here, I want to see if you can send this. No, you can't. Okay. Maybe one of the very, very, very fast guys would be able to do that if they got a good enough run through them rollers. But for me, right now, it's a no from me. So what have we done there? I mean, this is lap 4 of the outdoors track. Very smooth, very, very flowy. I do recommend. Come over here, you can see that we've got the overturned golf cart just chilling at the side. So we're going to work our way over to the Supercross track if I can find it. I think it's somewhere in this general location. Now, I am incredibly lazy, so I'm not even going to go through the effort of going back to the pits and putting on a soupy setup. I'm going to stick to the outdoors one, and we're going to see how it rides. So let's see. I don't know. Have I played a Supercross track from Hell Machine before? Trying to come to think of it, I don't know if I have. This might be his first one. If it is his first one, this will be an interesting test to see what he's like with it, see what his scaling's like, what he has in mind. And so far, it's on the smaller side. I would say it's more one-to-one scaled than most Supercross tracks that we get these days. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It all depends on how the faces of the jump's been built. Because if they're a little bit more mellow, then you hit intended rhythms. If they're super peaky, that's when you need to get a little bit worried about hitting like quads and fives. But the way he's built the berms, it looks like there's quite a harsh transition from banking to flat. So what you saw there, because I carried too much speed around the corner, the front end tucked on me. So that is a good limiting factor into stopping people from hitting these ridiculous lines and keeping things a bit more realistic. So whether he's done that by chance or if something that he's really put a lot of time and thought and effort into building it that way to make you ride a certain way, I have no idea. But so far, it seems like it flows really well. Obviously, it looks nice as well. Like to see all these like tread marks dotted all around as well. Gives it a little bit more of a worked on feel, brings it to life a little bit more. I can probably quad all the way out of there. This is just a soupy triple, and we've got a small double floating into the corner. Got triple single. Let's try these whoops out all the way up into 4th. Not difficult whoops by any means. They're quite deep, but because they're also fairly close together, like each whoop's close to each other, there's not much of a gap in between each one for things to go wrong. So usually if you are getting a little bit out of shape, you've already hit the next whoop. So the bike's already just doing something different. They don't feel too difficult at all. Let's go on, off. Can we quad all the way out? Have the brake? Oh, we can. That was very, very clean. Little Dragon's Back. I miss Dragon's Backs, by the way. Please, Feld or AMA, whoever I have to speak to, please bring Dragon's Back. Dragon's Backs back. Because I think they were a very, very fun part of Supercross. Not only just to play in game, but to watch some of the pros riding them as well. I was always very impressed. That's an obstacle that I think I would absolutely poo myself in real life if I got told that I had to skim a Dragon's Back and jump off the back of it, rather than just going like double up and double over. I'd be just petrified, just waiting for the back end to hit the top one at the wrong timing or wrong body position, and just getting yeeted over the bars. I think they've taken it out for safety reasons. I think the same reason as the whoops being limited to 9 whoops only. But I feel like there's such big separators of skill on a track that I think you need to bring them back, man. Make whoop sections longer again. Bring Dragon's Backs back to business, and I think racing would be a lot more fun. It might be sketchy at times, but then it comes down to who has got the biggest cojones on the racetrack, who wants to keep risking it for the reward. I mean, I think back, I can't remember what round it is. You guys are really good for this at remembering all the time. Do you remember there was one round where it was like Anderson versus Tomac hitting this one whoop section at the very end of the race, and there were only 2 people still hitting it because they was in a battle with each other, and they both knew if they didn't hit it, then the other person would just pull away by miles. I want to say that it was one of the Anaheim rounds, not last year, it might have been the year before. Genuinely, no, it might have been last year. Unsure off the top of my head, but I remember in game we had a really, really rough set of Anaheim whoops, and I'm pretty sure it was just like that in real life that time as well. You guys can let me know. You're always very good with that sort of information. I know I waffle sometimes and my memory's not the best, but the intention's there. The intention is certainly there at least. But this is actually really, really nice. Nice and flowy, not too difficult again, just like the outdoors track. Seems very intermediate level friendly, or if you're at the top of your game, if you are a quote-unquote pro in air quotations, because are we ever truly pros at MX bikes? Who knows? Then you could find some interesting lines around here, I think. There's probably some huge like quad opportunities through here. You might even be able to stretch onto that table if you get a good enough run into it as well. But, you know, just for normal lines, you know, just tripling your way through. New quad? That might be a little bit of a stretch as well. So there's a quad here and there. Whoop section, fairly easy. I mean, I'm just holding down right trigger and leaning back here. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special, but it's nice. It flows well, and I do believe this is the first Hell Machine Supercross track that I've ever played. I can't lie, I haven't written the description. I know that some track builders get other people to make Supercross tracks for them. I believe Maplar, for example, always gets Jackie Moon, aka Let It Rain, to do the Supercross tracks on his projects. If something like that's happened here, then round of applause all round. If not, then very good job there, Hell Machine. I'd actually like to see some more SX tracks from you. So it seems like you've got a little bit of a knack for it. What was that? Oh, what is that? What does that say? Oh, it says Hell Machine on it. I was like, what's going on here? That's a very high level of detail just for that one. Actually, no, it's a lot blurrier when you get up close. That looks so detailed when you move further away from it, and I suppose that's a key to optimization, isn't it? Things look really detailed from a distance, then when you get up close, they're a little bit blurry. It's just all about the illusion. So this is an arena cross track. This, whether this is part of Bamland, I have no clue. I generally could not tell you the last time I watched any Bamland footage at all. But yeah, I remember watching some very, very old videos of him riding around there. Absolutely. I think so. He was on the Honda 250 at the time, like one of the old ones. I want to say like maybe like 2012-ish era. Might have been earlier than that. But goddamn, that man! I always felt sorry for the bikes listening to Barsha ride. He does. I don't think he does it anywhere near as much anymore. But yeah, goddamn. When I grew up, obviously we weren't the wealthiest family in the world. Like we had enough to go riding maybe once a week, once a fortnight. But I remember every time I'd get like whether it's a new bike or getting a new bike for me, but it was used, that doesn't matter. Remember my dad always being like, you know, like look after the engine a little bit, like don't absolutely bang it off the limiter everywhere. And I think it's just different riding styles, because I definitely think it's Europe versus US a lot of the time. I think a lot of Europeans tend to sit in like a taller gear, you know, stand up a lot more. I think a lot of Americans like to sit in a slightly lower gear, use a hell of a lot of engine braking, rev a lot in the air, sit down a lot more just over the course of a lap. And obviously there are anomalies to this. That is just a generalization, so please don't take offense if that doesn't apply to you. But yeah, it's just something we noticed. I know watching like outdoors, for example, with Charlie, and we'll sit there and take someone like Justin Cooper, for example, and be like, he's still sat down, he's still sat down, he's still sat down, he's still sat down, he's just taking a beating over all these bumps, and you just kind of want to scream at him to stand up, but then you can't really say much because they are professionals. They're like the best of the best, and they know what they're doing. But there's just so many different ways to ride a bike, and it's like, what is the best way, really? I mean, the best looking way, I would say, is probably the Jet/Sexton combination that we got at the moment. Then you can be fast doing anything. I remember, like, obviously all the time I was growing up as well, Dad would always be like, you know, stop dropping your elbows in the corners, keep your elbows like nice up and aggressive. And then I'd turn the GPs on and watch someone like Jonathan Barragan like winning races with his elbows like right down by his knees, basically. And it's just nuts how people can be good in different ways. But I mean, what has been good in every single way? Do you like that? That little segue, that little transition. This track, really, really nice, really fun. I've enjoyed it quite a lot so far. I can't lie to you. It's just nice. I think it's a good track just to sit here and spin some laps on, to be honest. Even the arena cross track right here is nice and straightforward. And again, if you're someone that wants to get into the swing of things, then, you know, download it, hop on the arena cross track and learn some supercross rhythms. I don't think the scaling of the arena cross track is any smaller than the supercross track is. It's just that there's less rhythms. So, you know, it would fit inside a stadium rather than inside a... Well, it'd fit in an arena rather than inside a massive stadium, if that makes sense. So all around, built really well. And I like the look of this one as well, where it's a little bit more, I guess, abandoned, like not ridden on quite as much. So it's a lot more grass on it than the other tracks as well. It's just those little attentions to details that looks really, really cool. And for anybody like newish to track building, I know I've done a bunch of reviews on people's first tracks the other day. When I was on about extending the landscape out, again, no idea how they do it, but can you see here where the terrain ends on this line right here? However, it extends out past what the eye can see. So it looks like it's not just a floating plane, it looks like it's within its own confines. And I think if I... Oh, he's put an invisible wall. If there wasn't an invisible wall there, I'd probably be able to fall through the floor in that area, because it's where the map ends. But all around, just solid work as always from Hell Machine. We do expect it at this point, which sucks to say. I feel like sometimes we end up discrediting some of the big track creators when they just release solid work, because it's what they always do and it's what we're used to. But we got to give a little bit of a round of applause for things like this, because this was out of the blue for me. I mean, I'm not in the MX Bikes Discord anymore, to be fair, so I'm not sure if he's posted anything in upcoming tracks or media or anything like that. I left it since all of the hacking was going on a few weeks back. Maybe I should rejoin it. Maybe I'll get some glimpses of some upcoming projects. But big W, round of applause from me. Thank you as always for providing us with a little bit more fun to fill our evenings with Hell Machine. And if you enjoyed this video, do not like it. And if you want to see more on the channel, do not subscribe. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is that you're up to. Reverse Psychology, please like and subscribe, I beg. Thank you, goodbye.
I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.